This is the Lightspeed webinar, free webinar, how to use the Lightspeed Trader platform, October 30th, 2019. Thank you for joining us today. Before we get started, I just have a quick disclaimer that I need to read. This presentation is for informational purposes only. Nothing presented today should be construed as investment advice or a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security or contract. Since we don't know everyone's investment objectives or risk tolerance, we are not endorsing any specific trading strategies. Security, derivative, and futures trading involves the substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Each investor must consider whether this is a suitable investment, since you may lose all or more than your initial investment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Lightspeed is a division of Lime Brokerage LLC. Lime Brokerage LLC is not affiliated with third-party market commentators, educators, or service providers. Data, information, and material are provided for informational and educational purposes only. This content neither is nor should be construed as an offer, solicitation, or recommendation to buy or sell any securities or contracts. Any investment decisions made by the user through the use of such content is solely based on the user's independent analysis, taking into consideration your financial circumstances, investment objectives, and risk tolerance. Lime Brokerage LLC does not endorse, offer, nor recommend any of these services or commentary provided by any of the market commentators, educators, or service providers. And any information used to execute any trading strategies are solely based on the independent analysis of the user. Okay, so the next slide. My name is Joe Ely. For more information on a demo of the Lightspeed Trader software or opening an account with Lightspeed, you can contact me. My email address is posted there on this slide. Email is jely@limebrokerage.com. Before we get started with the actual content and material of the presentation, I just wanted to pull up our website quickly. So let me do that. I just wanted to show a couple of important pages. So let's see. All right, so this is the Lightspeed website homepage. We have information on trading equities, options, and futures. We trade all three. Brokerage services, account types, funding information on trading software, and so forth. Pricing. So we offer two different commission structures, either per share or per trade. Per share starts off at 0.0045 per share with a $1 minimum, and then the rate goes down based on volume. So the more active you are, the lower the rate goes. We also offer a per trade rate. Per trade starts at $4.50 per trade, and again, that does go down based on activity. So the more active you are, the lower the rate can go. Options is 60 cents per contract with a $1 minimum. Goes down to 20 cents per contract based on monthly volume. And futures is $1.29 per contract per side. Options on futures, $1.79 per contract per side. Just want to put that out there for those of you that are new. Can I get a quick poll? If you are an existing Lightspeed customer, can you type in the number 1? If you are not an existing customer, can you type in number 2? I'm just curious. I like to find out, who I'm speaking to, so that maybe we can cater the material to either new prospects or existing customers. I'd appreciate that. All right, we got a lot of results coming in. It looks like 50-50, so it doesn't really help much, but at least I know. So a lot of you are new to Lightspeed, a lot of you are existing customers, maybe a few more new people. I see people did type in questions before we started. I will get to all of them, or we'll try to get to all the questions. To open an account, you click on this yellow account, open account button right here. Fill out the application form here. This question here, if a salesperson's helped you, choose me. If no one else has helped you so far, if you've been working with another rep, obviously choose their name as well. The resources tab. So one of the things, one of the tabs that a lot of clients don't realize we have on the website is resources. So you go to resources, and then there's a lot of different items here, just general support, FAQs, information about futures. We have recorded um, live webinars. So all of our webinars get recorded and posted on the website. We have a trading blog, news, trading tools, Lightspeed Trader. So this tab is important. This is where you can view latest version release notes. You can click on the download install files for Lightspeed Trader for either a PC or a Mac. And then down below, there's manuals, guides, and tools. Lightspeed manual. A lot of it is kind of boring, but there is some really good information in there. So if you're looking for something specific about the platform, you should be able to find it in there. There's a page or a link here for available indices. If you have a specific index that you want to look at, you click on this and you can find the symbol. And then there's open and on close orders guide, pegged orders, information about some of the general routes that we provide. If you look on here, some of these routes here, Barclays LX, PDQ, Night Algos, Crossfinder, Dark Assault, some of these are dark pools. There's a Lightspeed Trader VWAP and TWAP orders. So there's a lot of advanced information on here. So if you have specific questions about some of these type of orders and order routes, this is a good place to look for it. The other thing I wanted to show you was tutorials. So this page will cover a lot of the general information about the Lightspeed Trader platform. There we go. So the first one on here is the Light Scan Stock Screener. It's a short video, teaches you how to use the screener. Down below, there's a bunch of different videos that cover specific features of the trading platform, like this one, how to create custom orders on Lightspeed Trader. Custom orders, that's also hotkeys. So you can watch that video to help you learn how to create hotkeys. Here's one specifically on hotkeys, custom stops, how to link windows. So there's a lot of resources on the website. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to pull up the Lightspeed Trader platform now, and we'll get into the material here. All right, it should pop up there. There we go. All right, so this is a basic Lightspeed Trader 1 monitor layout. I have it set up with 3 level 2 screens, 3 order entry windows, and then 1 chart linked to each level 2. We have a simple watch list. We have my account summary. This is a demo, so on a real account, you're going to see more numbers in this window. So I want to go over some of the basics first, and then we'll get into some of the more advanced features later. So right now I'm going to go into the basic windows, customization, and then we'll get into some of the more detailed things like setting up hotkeys, how to enter orders and get fast executions, the different market routes available, and things like that. To get started though, one of the big things is your layout. So if you go to layout, you can load a predefined layout. So if you want to open, one of our predefined layouts, you can do that. So I'm just going to click on this one, and we're going to open up a different layout. So this is just a general layout that we've set up. There's 3 of them there. And here's a really small, very simple one. 1 level 2, 1 chart. Has some basic hot buttons, buy 100 shares at the market, sell 100 shares at the market, and cancel all orders. It's a very good, very simple, small layout. Now, if you set up your page the way that you want it, it's completely customizable. So I'm going to open up a new level 2, for example. We'll just stick it over here. Right, so I'm going to a new order entry. All right, and then we'll just do another chart real quick. Okay, so I opened up 3 new windows, a level 2 in order entry in a chart. So that added on to my layout. Say this is the way that I want my layout set up. I can save that layout. So I go to Layout, Save Layout As, and then give it a name. So I'm going to name it, I don't know, say Joe Test 1030, right? And then I want to save it to my desktop or another folder that I know where it is. But typically, for demonstration purposes, I tell you to save it to your desktop, so it's easy. You save it to your desktop, and then you hit save, and now this layout is saved to your computer. So that if you want, say you lose your layout, something changes, you don't like it, you can always go back and open up the layout that's saved to your computer. All right. So I'm going to answer some of the questions that came up. People were asking if we can cover hotkeys. Yep, we're going to do hotkeys. Also wanted to know if we're going to have a recording of the webinar. Yes, obviously everything gets recorded, gets posted to our website, and I showed that to you before. So on this basic setup here, you can completely customize everything. So if you want to make the charts bigger, you just click, drag the sides. You want to make your level 2 bigger, you can do that as well. And you can do that with every window. It's very important to generally have this messages window open right here. I don't know if you can see this one here. When you place trades, you get a message that pops up in this window. And if for some reason your order doesn't go live or gets canceled or deleted or whatever, it will show up in this window. So it's important to have that open so that you can see it. And other windows that are important, if you want options, we have complex options order entry. We also have options level 2. Once it pops up, you click on the drop downs to choose an actual option contract, and then you get the level 2 data for that contract. For simple options order entry, if you right click, you can go to show order ticket, and then you get an order entry window at the bottom of the level 2 screen. So if you're placing a single leg option order, this would be where you would do it. You choose the number of contracts, you choose your price. If you click on a price on the level 2 screen, it's going to update the price on the order entry form. Whether you want limit, market, stop, limit, you have your buy and sell buttons. Someone's asking about futures. So futures are not available on the Lightspeed Trader platform. We trade futures on either CQG or Realtek. So to open new windows, you go to New and you choose any one of these options here. One of the big windows that a lot of traders like is Light Scan. This is the stock scanner and screener. So if you look right now, I opened it up and a lot of symbols are getting populated here. If you click on any column, you can sort by that column. You right click on the window, you can go to change filter, and you can change your filter so you show stocks that meet different criteria. There's buy and balance, sell and balances, and so forth. Highs, lows. You can add filters based on net change. So if you want net change percentage, you want a net change percentage, I don't know, we'll say between 5 and we'll say 10% in the day. Click add. I'm going to remove some of these other ones. Let's see. And then it goes through and scans for those stocks so that going forward it's only going to show stocks with that percent change. Um, Anastasia asking about sound. Sound should be coming through clearly. It should be working for everyone. If anyone has a problem, I suggest logging off and back on. Someone has a question about options trading. When you open the account, we will ask you if you want to trade options. If you say no, you can always add options later. That's not a problem. Someone asks about this specific scanner. Does the net change percentage mean gappers? No, not necessarily. No, they're two different things. Joe, thanks for saying that you can hear me. So sound is definitely going through. Some of the other windows that a lot of traders like to use to find trading ideas, block trades. Lightspeed is known for having one of the few scanners out there that's going to show you block trades. So you can pull this up and run a scan for block trades over a certain size. A lot of times this is going to indicate institutional or large trader activity. So here you can see trades. Most of these trades, it looks like, are over 10,000 shares, 17,000, 51,000, and so forth. And then on the exchange, this ADFN, ADFN means that it's typically done in a dark pool or off of an exchange. So you can see, people trying to hide their activity, so to speak, by using a dark pool. Here you can see this trade, this SPWR was done on Edge X, but you do see a lot of the ADFN, which indicates that that's trade that's done on a dark pool. You can always change your filters on any one of these windows. So right here, you right-click and go to filters, and then you can change your min-max shares, option contracts. One of the cool things that we came out with recently is we developed an options block trade scanner as well. So we have the ability to scan for options as well, which is a pretty cool feature. Let's see. So risers and fallers. This is just a simple scan of the stocks with the biggest percent change or on the day, whether it's upside or downside. So a lot of people like to look at this. I think it gives out roughly 30 different stocks that moved the biggest percentage on the upside and downside for the day. Let's see. Short request. So this is a really great feature. You can type, so if you're trading a stock, here we'll look at Microsoft. So this is the level 2 screen. You have the level 1 portion at the top. In the upper right hand corner, we indicate whether a stock is easy to borrow, needs to be located, or it's a threshold. So this E means it's easy to borrow. So you could short Microsoft, no problem. If Microsoft was not available, this would say L, meaning locate. And then if you sign up for our short request feature, which is this window right here, let's see, put it off to the side. You can type in the number of shares that you want. Say we want to trade 500 shares. You click locate. The system will come back within a second or two and indicate whether it's available or not and the cost. So let me see if I can find another stock. So let's see, TVIX, for example, that is T is threshold, meaning that it's not available to short ever. So you can't short that. Does anyone have a stock that might be hard to borrow that I can type in and see if we can locate it? BIMI, let's see. Okay, yeah, so that's a good example. It says L for locate. So here I'm going to try to locate 500 shares of BIMI. Okay, so we were able to locate that. So in order for you to be able to short 500 shares, there's a cost. This one's actually pretty high, over 8 cents per share, 0.0084. Total cost to short 500 shares would be $42. 8 cents per share is pretty high. A lot of stocks generally I would see is 0.003, 0.004 per share, which is a fraction of what this is. 003, 004 is fairly common. I have seen them as high as 15 cents a share. So it depends on the availability and how hard it is to locate. Yeah, Melissa posts it's a low float. So you have to determine whether paying $42 is worth you being able to short the 500 shares or not. If you hit accept, you get charged the $42 whether you short it or not. If you decide you don't want to pay the fee, you don't want to take the trade, just hit cancel. But it's a good tool to have. Someone else types in Beyond. I doubt we'll be able to find that, but let's see. Yeah, Beyond was found at 0.0052 per share, so a little over a nickel per share, $26 to short 500 shares. Might be worth it. So this is a really, really good tool, and this is one of the things that Lightspeed provides to clients so that you can trade quickly, you can trade efficiently with speed. Typing in a symbol and hitting locate and then either accept or reject or cancel, I should say, is a very, very efficient tool to be able to locate and short stocks that might not otherwise be available at other firms. These are the type of things that Lightspeed provides that's going to be typically better than a lot of the big companies out there that are now providing some of the no commission offerings. So while I'm talking about that, so a lot of people ask, why should we trade at Lightspeed? And it really is the day trading tools that we provide. We're going to provide a much better product for active day traders, and that's what we cater to. We're looking for people that are actively trading every single day, executing multiple trades every day, and we're going to provide the tools that they need to trade successfully. A lot of the other firms, big firms offering no commission trading, they're not going to be able to offer these things. The second thing is customer service. When you call Lightspeed, you're going to get someone on the phone fairly quickly, definitely more quickly than what people have told me they experience when they try to call some of the big firms. Some of the big firms they call, they might be stuck on the phone for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, who knows. So calling Lightspeed, you're generally going to get someone, a live rep on the phone who's knowledgeable and able to help you very quickly. And if you're actively trading and you have a problem, that could be priceless. One of the other things, obviously, is different market access. We provide multiple different routing venues and strategy destinations. We provide exchange routes, market maker routes, dark pool routes. Let's see if we can pull some of these up. Let's see. So we have our smart route is LSPT. Smart route is where we decide how to route the order to the exchanges. Then we have exchange routes like ARCA, Edge, IEX. Then we have other dark pool routes like Crossfinder, night algos. We have VWAP and TWAP orders. So you're going to find a lot of specific trading advantages to using Lightspeed. I see a couple more questions. Someone asks, if you pay that fee to locate, is that good for the day or good till cancel? So that fee is good for the day. So if you hit accept and you accept 500 shares for BYND, you are good to trade 500 shares of BYND as many times as you want. So you could sell it short, buy back to cover, and then do it over and over again, and you just pay that one fee. Lawrence asks, does Lightspeed have a limit up, limit down marker on the level 2 window? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It must. I apologize. I use 3 different platforms each day, so I don't remember if it's on the Lightspeed platform or not. Someone else replied back and says yes, it does. So someone that uses it um, every day and says that it is available. Okay, I'm going to close out some of these windows and clean this up a little bit. So I want to go into some of the hotkeys, setting up custom orders and hot buttons. Does anyone have any general questions about the general platform, just how to use it or any of the windows? I want to make sure that I cover everything that people have before we get on to the hotkeys. While I'm waiting to see if people type in questions, I just wanted to show you some basic functions of the chart. So if you click on the chart and use your wheel on the mouse, you can scroll in and out on a chart. It's kind of a cool feature. You want to add studies, you right click, you go to studies. We want to add a simple moving average. Let's see, we'll do 20 period moving average. I don't know, we'll make the color this pink. Click OK, add. Okay, so now we have a 20 period moving average on there. One thing that comes up a lot is how to link windows. So I'm just going to close this. Well, I'll leave it up, but I have 2 charts in 2 level 2 screens. If I want to link both charts to this one level 2 screen, what you do is you right click on the gray bar at the top, you go to link, and then you choose the level 2 screen that you want it to link to. So I'm going to link it to BYND. So now I have these 2 charts and this order entry linked to this one level 2 screen. So if I type in a new symbol, it has all of them linked together. And if you notice, this Ford level 2 is now not linked to any charts. You can also link a watch list. So I have this watch list linked to my 2 charts, my level 2 and my order entry. So if I double click on a symbol on my watch list, it automatically updates the charts, level 2 and order entry. This way, if you have a watch list that you're looking at every single day, or some of you might do research at night and come up with a list of stocks that you might potentially want to go long or go short the next day, you can quickly scan through multiple different charts to see if they meet your parameters in order to trade. Okay, a few questions came in. I'm hoping to get through these quickly, and then we'll get on to the hotkeys. Does Lightspeed run just as well on Mac as it does on Windows? Lightspeed was designed for Windows, so it definitely works better on Windows. I know that there's a new version of the Mac new version of Lightspeed coming out for Mac, and it's supposed to be just as good. But I don't know. It should be very comparable. Putting a VWAP on a chart. Let's see. It should be pretty straightforward. So I went to studies, and then let's see. Here's VWAP. Hit add. Okay. Someone has a question about hotkeys. We'll get into those in just a minute. How do you associate a chart with each individual order window so it switches when you move? I had a little trouble doing that. The charts would change the other charts only. Joe, I just did cover that. You should hopefully have gotten the answer there. So you right click on the top gray bar and you go to link on the chart and you choose which quote window you want it linked to. So you need to do that for each chart. And that should take care of the issue. Okay, so hotkeys, hot buttons, custom orders. So you can see right here in the center, we have 3 hot buttons already set up on this layout. Market buy for 100, market sell for 100, cancel all orders. To set up a new custom order, new custom hotkey or hot button, you click on the gear in the window, upper right-hand corner of the main Lightspeed window. You go to custom orders, and then over here you go to create new command. First thing you do is you give it a name. Someone, let's see, had a specific hotkey. Sell full position on the bid. Okay, we'll get to that one later. That's a little more advanced, but I'm going to set up a basic one here. So we're going to say buy 500 ask. So this means I'm going to hit the ask and buy 500 at that price. First thing you do is the side. Check off the buy button. Market, you're going to choose what market you want to route the order to. LSPT, that's our smart route if you want to use that. LSPT is only valid during regular market hours. If you're trading pre and post market, you have to use an exchange route like ARCA. So I'm going to choose ARCA, the ARCA NASDAQ BATS Edge. Instruction limit. Display visible or hidden. I always leave it on visible. You can choose hidden if you have a large order that you don't want displayed to the market. One of the disadvantages of doing a hidden order is visible orders take precedence, meaning that they're going to get filled prior to a hidden order, even if you were there first. So your hidden order, they're only obligated to fill you on 100 shares, and then they can go out and fill every other visible order at your price ahead of you. So you do have to be careful if you do want to use a hidden order. So in the platform, there's other ways to hide your order. So if you do anything so that your full order volume is not displayed, you do need to be aware that the visible orders will take precedence over your order. So I've had a few people with that issue, so just be aware of that. Through, we're not going to do that now, but basically if you wanted to buy a penny over the ask, you do through 0.01. So if I put in 0.01 here, it's going to buy at the ask plus a penny. So on Citigroup here, it's 73 on the bid, 73.17 on the ask. With the through the ask at a penny, it's going to buy at 73.18, and that's going to be a limit order. But in this example, we're not doing that, so I'm just going to leave it at 0. We're going to say we're going to buy at the ask with position to close and without position to close. So order size. This is another area where people have a lot of questions. They don't quite understand what this means. This means that if you hit this hotkey or this hot button, if you have a position to close, what do you want it to do? Or if you don't have a position to close, what do you want it to do? So since I'm just going to use this as a way to get into a position, I'm going to just choose quantity and leave it at 0. And then without position to close, I'm going to choose quantity and 500. Pop-up confirm, no, I don't want it to pop up. I want it to go live immediately. I'm going to click map key now. So here you see the hotkey I created, or the custom command, buy 500 ask. I'm going to click on scroll through this on the left here. So S is shift, C is control, A is alt, and then the black number or letter is what you're assigning it to. So I like doing like control B for a basic hotkey to buy. So here I chose the C with the B, click map, click OK. So now control B on my keyboard is going to send that hotkey. So I'm going to click here on Citigroup. You can see that I'm already on Citigroup because this level 2 is highlighted in yellow around the outside. And then I'm going to hit Control B. And if you look immediately in my orders window, you see the order C went out. and I got filled at 73. And the quantity, if it was pending, you'd see 0 and then 500 because 0 was filled out of 500, but it got filled immediately. I'm on a demo. You see the position in my positions window, 500 shares, and then you also see it in the messages window. Now, if for some reason that order got rejected or was stuck pending or just was open, you would see it here in the messages window, and it's important to know that and to be able to see it here. So now that I'm in this position, there's multiple different ways to close out an order or close out a position, and everyone needs to be able to do at least 2, but I suggest all 3. So obviously, I have hotkeys, so I'm going to use hotkey to close out. You can also simply right-click on a position and then go to close out, C, and then you can do either 25, 50, 75, or 100%. Close out all. You can close out all positions. So you can close out all positions again at the 25, 50, 75, 100. You can do close out all long, close out all short. So that's one way to close out a position. Another way to close out of a position is this order entry window. You see C is in the symbol. You're gonna put in your shares, 500. I want to sell it at 73.01, and we'll choose edge X. Limit visible. I want everything visible. Time in force day. You can choose different time in force if you only want it open for a minute, 3 minutes, GTC, day, whatnot, right? And then I'm gonna hit sell. My order went out there, and you can see it's pending. In my orders window, 0 is executed out of 500. This is just a demo, so it's waiting for a trade to go off at that price. As soon as a trade goes off at that price, I'm gonna get filled. Okay, I need to take just a quick break to grab a drink of water. I'll be right back in 1 minute, less than a minute. Hold on. All right, thank you. Sorry, I'm going a little hoarse here. All right, so I see a few more questions. People have questions about charts, so we'll get into those after we do all the hotkeys and hot buttons. Someone asks, can I trade after hours? Yes, you can trade after hours. We trade on Lightspeed Trader from 4 a.m. Eastern until 8 p.m. Eastern. So you get the full pre and post market. You do have to choose an exchange route. So ARCA, NASDAQ, BATS, EDGE in order to trade pre and post market. Someone asks, can you look at time frames less than 1 minute on the chart? No, 1 minute is the smallest time frame on a chart. Okay, so this Citigroup order doesn't look like it's getting filled. So let's see if we right click on the order, we can go to modify. Let's see if it takes this. We'll change it to a market. All right, so I right-clicked on the order, went to modify. I changed my limit order to a market order and immediately filled me at 73. So now you can see in my positions I'm flat. Now, I've created this custom order, created the hotkey. Now we're going to add it as a hot button. So on the hot buttons window, you right-click, you go to add orders. And here you can see the custom command or custom order that I created, the buy 500 at the ask. I'm going to click add, and then I can change the color of the button. Make it, I don't know, we'll just make it blue. And now that custom order hotkey and hot button is set up. So if I click on forward, and I click this hot button, the order immediately goes live. I just bought 500 forward at 854. So, it was kind of a quick introduction to custom orders, hotkeys, and hot buttons. Does anyone have specific questions about any of those items? All right, someone asks, do the market route rates change very often? Are those updated on our website? The route rates typically do not change very often. It's kind of rare. And if they do change, we do update it on the website. Doesn't look like anyone has questions about hotkeys, hot buttons, or custom orders. All right, here's a couple coming in. Let's see. On a custom order, when placing the order through 5 cents, does it place it at the best available, or does it always grab 5 cents? It always gets best available. So if you do a through order, so I'm going to show you real quick. We'll create a custom order. We'll create a new one. So we're going to do buy. This time we'll do NASDAQ. Limit visible. We'll do through 0.05. Through the ask. If you set this up, it's going to go through the ask. So it's going to send a limit order through the ask by a nickel. So if you look at Citigroup right here, the ask is 73.17. It's going to send a limit order at 73.22. And it will fill at the best price available up to your limit price of 73.22. So if every share is available at 73.17, that's what you're going to get filled at. If it's at different prices, you're going to get the best price until your entire 500 shares is 500 share order is filled up to your limit price. Okay, someone has a question. They want to know how to set up a hotkey to sell the full position at the bid. And that's a good hotkey to have, as well as hot button. So we'll set that up now. Again, you click on the settings wheel, go to custom orders, create new command, and we want to sell, sell, I'm just going to say POS for position at the bid. Okay, so say we have 473 shares of Ford. We want, we want the system just to sell the 473 shares at the bid to get out. Okay, so I'm going to name that sell POS bid. Click sell. This time we'll just put edge X. Limit. Obviously, I want to leave it on visible. We're going to sell it at the bid. So here, in this section here, with position to close, you want to choose closeout. And then on this drop down, you have the choice of full position, quarter position, half position, 3/4 position. So we just choose full position. Without position to close, I'm just going to say quantity and 0 because I'm using this to sell my full position at the bid. If I don't have a position, I don't want it to execute anything, so that's why I put 0 there. Pop-up confirm, I just leave it at no, so it goes live immediately. And this is Charles. This is the basic process of how it works. All right, so I'm gonna go to map key now. Sell position bid is highlighted. We're just gonna do shift 1 map. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna buy. I don't know. We'll just make some weird number up. Let's see. We'll just do my example: 473 shares. All right, so I'm going to try to buy 473 shares at 73.21. All right, so I got my shares. I bought 473 shares at 73 cents. So now if I hit shift 1, it immediately closed out my position. If you look right here, I bought the 473 and then the shift 1 key knew I had 473 shares and closed it out. And that's important because a lot of times, I shouldn't say a lot of times, there are times, it's probably fairly rare, you will get an odd number of shares. It does happen. So being able to close out the exact number of shares you have is important. So that's how you set up that hotkey. And again, if you want to add it to a hot button, you right click on the hot buttons window, go to add orders, sell position bid, add, I don't know, we'll make this one purple. So now I have a hotkey and a hot button to sell my position at the bid. Full closeout, that's right. All right, we have about 10 minutes left. People had questions about charts, so let me see if I can find those questions and hopefully go through those now. Someone just has basic questions about how to change the time period on a chart. So just open this one up. I don't know, let's see, I'll put in a new stock. Why not? All right, so we're looking at Tesla here. This has my 20 period moving average on it, has my VWAP. If you right click on any chart and go to settings, this is the main window where you're going to set your parameters for your chart. So your period and the number of bars back. So if you have something specific that you want to look at, this is where you would set it. So if you want to look at, I don't know, a 5-minute chart and you want to go back, I don't know, we'll just say 200 days. Then you choose whether you want to just look at prices for the market only, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. or all. I'm going to choose all. And then you want it to, either be bars back or days back. If I choose days back, then you might only want to look at 50 or say 20 days back. Then I'm clicking on the chart and then using my wheel to zoom in and out. So Joe, does that answer your question? Oh, okay. So at the bottom of each chart is tabs, and this is actually a very good feature, but some people, don't even realize it's there or understand how to use it. So the tabs at the bottom of the chart. So here's a 90-day chart. Here's a 52-week chart. Here's a 60-minute chart. I haven't changed these a lot. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. So you right click, you go to settings, and then over here you have this 90-day, 52-week, and 60-minute. So if you click on that and then hit remove and then OK, it's going to remove that tab. And you can add tabs and remove tabs in that same fashion. So you right click, you go to settings. Here we're going to say we're just going to create a 2-minute chart, 90 bars back. We're going to click, let's see. All right, so I'm gonna I put in a name, just say 2-minute, hit add, okay. So now this is the new tab that I just created, this 2-minute with 90 bars. And then the other two are still there, the 52-week and the 60. So this 2-minute with 90 bars back, we'll say that's the one that I want to keep and I don't want any of the other ones. So then you just click on this, hit remove. So now the only thing left is just my 2 minute. And then I think that accomplishes what you were looking at, Joe. He's asking if there's a way to. No, it's system wide. There's the way the system works. You can't customize the tabs on all the different charts. You're going to have the same tabs on every chart. While I look for more charting questions, someone has a basic question about margin. So margin, if you fund an account with 25,000 or more, you get 4-to-1 leverage for day trading. So if you have a $30,000 account, you can day trade $120,000 worth of stock at any one time. Overnight, the max is 2-to-1 leverage. So with 30,000, you can hold $60,000 worth of stock overnight. Someone has a question about zooming in and out on a chart quickly. If you just want to adjust between 130 and 2. So here, we'll change this chart. Well, you can just, if you click on the chart and then highlight what you want to see. Let's see. I used to be able to do that. I don't know why that's not working. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the only way to do it is to right click and choose zoom. Then you can also click on the chart and then use your wheel to zoom in and out. Drawing trend lines. So if you right click, you go to lines, you have multiple different choices available. Just choose array. If I want to draw, you right click, go to lines, choose array, and then you can draw different lines. Let's see, we're gonna right click, we're gonna go to delete all. Want a horizontal line, say you have an area that you want to potentially look to buy or sell short, so you could draw 2 horizontal lines to create a channel. If you want to buy between this period, these 2 price points, as the chart moves, as time goes on, that those lines will stay there so that you can see whether the stock price gets back into your channel there. Someone's asking, how do I get a short locate window? I did cover that earlier today, so I won't go through it again, but basically you go to new and then short request. If you don't have this feature, you need to request it. So send an email to service@linebrokerage.com and we can have it added for you. Someone asks if there's short keys for drawing lines or zooming. I don't know if there is or is not. I've never used them if there are. I think I've really covered all the material that I had for you tonight. I hope that you were able to learn something and find the time that you spent here with us useful. There's so many different features and functions of the platform. I mean, we could just hold an hour-long webinar on charts almost, or order entry or hotkeys for that matter. So I hope I was able to go through enough material where I did answer questions that a lot of people had to ask. I really appreciate you joining us tonight. I'm going to stay in the room for another minute or two. If you do have questions, I can type back to you in the questions window. But I appreciate everyone's time and hope to see you again soon. This webinar will be recorded. It will be posted to our website. It usually takes 2 to 3 days, but it is under the resources and live webinars section of the website. So if you do want to go back and look at what we covered, that'll be there for you. Again, thank you so much for your time and have a good night. Bye-bye.